So in thinking about building design, first thing you're going to want to do is study and evaluate all the information. You're going to annotate the information in some form that is useful to you. You know, you're probably talking about doing some sort of matrix of information that you're going to have a place to jot down all the room sizes and the room names and any sort of important pieces of information. So you can kind of keep track of what's going on. That's going to take a while because there's lots of sort of odd bits of information that have to be justified with each other. Then the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to diagram that and find some graphic way of representing that for yourself. So you're probably talking about using bubble diagrams maybe, or using the sketch mode in the program where you can start to get a sense of scale in the room sizes, what kinds of relationships they could be, which ones want to be on the first floor versus the second floor, starting to get that graphically understood so you can kind of move more quickly from there into an actual building design. Then the third thing you want to do, which is a little bit unusual, is you want to think about what the circulation pattern is. The circulation pattern is the thing that's really going to drive this design. So once I figure out the essential pattern of the circulation, so where the corridor is, where the stairs are, that's really going to be how I locate everything else from that. So once I put in that key spine of the circulation, I then fill in the rooms after that. Once I've done the filling in the rooms, I fill in the doors, I fill in all the other pieces. So we're moving through evaluating the information, graphically understanding it, figuring out what the pattern of the building is going to be, then filling it out. Once I've done all that, then I'm just going back through and I'm checking it. There's a lot of information, so I want to make sure I leave plenty of time to check. Read through the entire program, read through the entire code a second time, just to make sure there's nothing unusual that you missed on the first round. So remember, like all of these vignettes, one thing at a time. You want to move through in order, in a logical pattern. Don't try to make it fancy, just one thing at a time. Keep it simple. This is not an exercise in trying to understand the brilliance of your designs or anything like that. This is solely an exercise in are you able to competently put together a set of adjacencies of rooms and an egress pattern that make a very, very basic schematic design for a building. Don't try to overthink it. If you do, it will just cause you difficulties and problems down the road. Remember, it's a puzzle, it's not architecture. It's a puzzle with architectural content, but it's not architecture. It doesn't have to look like a building, it doesn't have to be a design you're proud of. It's not really about that. It's about expressing an egress pattern and sort of a logic of adjacencies from the complications of all the program information. If you imagine it as sort of a first draft of a schematic design, it's probably easier to imagine that way, and it's not really a building. Once you sort of understand that, then it's relatively easy to sort of move through the rest of the process. It just takes a lot of time because there's a lot of information.